Hello, and welcome to another episode. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jonathan, co-founder of Parent Portfolio, author of Rent or Mortgage Free Living, How Smart People Optimize Their Finances, and I am a frugal millionaire. Today, I'm going to be watching and reacting to Living on $181,000 a year in Decatur, Georgia, where I'll also share my personal insights, tips, and recommendations. But before I begin, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. Now, without any further ado, let's get started.
It was very normal for my family to have debt, so that is something that I carried into adulthood. I was 18, that's when, of course, I took out my first student loans, and at the time I was just living with my dad, and he was the one who was helping me out financially. He did have a little bit of money saved up in a CD account for me to go to college, but I would say it was just a few thousand. After about 3 years, I realized I no longer wanted to be a dentist, so I decided to stay in the biology field and just decided to go into environmental research.
So she's in $80,000 in debt, and that's a mixture of student loans, credit card expenses, and a car. The truth is about student loans is that sometimes the disbursements are not enough to live by on a daily basis. I'm assuming then that's why she went into credit card debt to kind of take care of those regular expenses. And then she needs a car to go to school and to work. So my hope is that she has a plan to pay it off.
It was only in her name, but I did contribute to the down payment, so that's where some of my student loans came in.
So to be honest, I wasn't a fan to hear that she put money towards a down payment, but her name is not in the house. Dealing with money with family and friends, it could tend to be a slippery slope. And even though you might have a handshake deal, you really don't have anything put down on paper. And that's kind of why, if you're going to do a deal with your family and friends, no matter how much you know them, it's very good to put down the expectations on paper where you both agree and sign it, even have it notarized. This just takes away any complications. The nice thing, out of the story is that they sold their house and Layla received $10,000, which she wisely put towards her debt. So even though I'm very cautious about mixing money with family, her sister did good to her. So great for her. And she put it towards her debt.
Unfortunately, in 2015, I decided to co-sign a car with somebody I was in a relationship with at the time, and things were good for some time, but ultimately this turned into the worst financial mistake I've ever made. I cried a lot. It was just very stressful overall. I did end up taking this person to court. I was garnishing their wages at one point, so I took a loss on that one, but I'm so grateful that that is no longer in my life anymore.
So I agree that co-signing with her ex was a big mistake. She probably didn't think about that at that moment in time. She just thought like she was helping someone out. And I'm not going to lecture about this. She's taking some accountability. Her card's paid off. She's moving on.
I would say that I have a bit of an obsession with finances, so I'm constantly on my spreadsheets or checking my bank accounts. To me, it's not stressful. That's just normal and what I prefer to do, but I could definitely see how other people can perceive that as a problem.
So my wife does the books in our household, and when she was in college, she had all these different spreadsheets, and when we got married, she showed them to me. I mean, she was calculating functions and deriving numbers from different spreadsheets and putting them all together. I mean, it was pretty complex. And, you know, it might sound intimidating hearing how much work, time, and energy my wife put into analyzing our budget. And it's true. It can feel like a mountain that you're trying to climb that's just bearing over you, and it just feels intimidating. But the truth is, when you start off, it can feel kind of hard. It can feel intimidating. But the more you do it, the more reps you put in, once you build that habit, then you start to find efficiencies that you can get it done faster. So I admit, trying to start off with a budget, trying to face your spending habits can be a little daunting. But once you figure out how things work, you become more efficient. What used to take her hours, I mean, I'm telling you, a majority of the day now goes down to, on average, about 3 to 5 minutes a day of her just checking her budget app, seeing how things are, and things are good. And then we spend end of the month about at most 15 to 30 minutes analyzing our spending, making adjustments for our budget for next month. So yeah, it can feel intimidating. You got to start somewhere, but over time, it will get easier.
I did do a no spend year in 2020, which helped a lot with my journey, but overall, I just got a lot tighter with my budget. So I made sure to keep track of every dollar that went in, every dollar that went out. I don't always stick 100% to my budget. I actually never do, but it's very important for me to keep somewhat of a structure. So,
kudos to her for paying off $60,000 in debt. I mean, this video was filmed in about 2022. It's already 2025, so I'm assuming that she's completely debt-free now. One thing that I like that she said is that even though she has a budget, she is not restricted by it. She's actually pretty flexible, and that is pretty awesome. I mean, you saw that board there. She has a plan to pay off her debt, and I think that's what's really key, that budgets are not necessarily restrictive. We try our best to stick within the bounds, but that's why at the end of the month, you have to analyze your spending. You have to be honest. You have to face those numbers saying, all right, we actually went over budget. Does this really mean then that this is what our true spending is, and that this is what our budget should be every month? But we also need to be considerate about another boundary. If we're going to move money into this kind of spending habit, let's say, for example, food, where is that other money going to come from? You have to be flexible. You have to analyze it. Budgeting is not a set it and forget it.
By the time I'm 30, I should be debt-free in regards to my student loans and everything else. I would like to purchase some property, whether that's for myself to live in or to flip or to rent. I do want to be financially independent overall, probably by 40 to 45. The most important lesson that I learned about money is that you should always do your own research. You have to do what is best for you and based off of your own knowledge and decisions.
So I just want to say that I'm very proud of her. I mean, she's doing a fantastic job. Yes, she got herself in debt, but she made a choice to get out of it. And one word that she used earlier in the video is the word rock bottom. In reality, she can continue to accumulate debt. That, what was it, $80,000 in debt could potentially be $100,000 debt, $500,000 in debt, just by accumulating, meaning that she will never feel a virtual rock bottom. But internally, she defined that she found a rock bottom. And because of that, she had to make a change with her money. And I think that's what's very important, because once again, it comes down to our mindset and our own internal motivations. And with that internal motivation, she changed her life around and is working towards financial freedom. Fantastic. I am so proud of her. I do feel like everyone does need a budget, whether you're a college student, whether you make a lot of money. Having a plan is key. I'm telling you, I know people who are high income earners, who are doctors, but because in their back of the mind, they're thinking, oh, I make a lot of money, it's okay to incur debt. But when you go look at their balance sheet, they have more debt than the money that they bring in. So they're at cash flow negative. At the same time, I know some people who work in tech, and knowing their salary, they're afraid to spend money. And it's all because they're very uncertain about their money. In the back of their mind, it's somewhere there, but they really don't know. And that's where analyzing your spending facing the truth, numbers don't lie, and then coming up with a plan with it to become intentional. I mean, she here is intentional money and pay down her debt. Fantastic for her. I hope others kind of adopt her method and her spirit. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you are looking to take control of your financial future, we also offer financial coaching. Just click the link down below to set up a free consultation, and we can see if we can help you master your money. Now, once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support, and have yourself a great day. All right, bye.